Now, while I think the Stelvio is a really fantastic SUV, one of its more downsides, I would say, is it isn't the most spacious SUV in this class. So let's go check out the trunk space right now. I'm going to do that by opening up it from the key fob. Full power tailgate, which is fantastic. Alfa Romeo did give me a de-ice scraper here for the weekend just in case it snowed, which I believe we are expecting at some point. But you can see back here, it definitely isn't the largest rear trunk. Something like an X3 is going to offer way more space back here, but you sacrifice some things for performance, I guess, right? A little bit of some space down here. No spare tire on this one. You do have a fix-a-flat kit, I believe, in an inflator. I do like what's going on back here, though. We have these tie-down points that are metal on all four sides over there. I believe this is our subwoofer for our Harman Kardon audio system, which is an option. And we do have this upper cargo cover, which is nice. You can remove it, I believe, if you need to have a little bit more of a taller space. We have a little bit of a side storage cubby here. And now also back here, we can see our releases to fold the rear seats down. We also do get a 12-volt socket and LED lighting. Folding the seats down is very easy in the Stelvio. You literally just pull this lever and they should come loose. And then you can just go ahead and fold them down. Same thing goes with the passenger side. Now, you do have to move your front seats up a little bit, but once those seats are completely folded down, you're going to get more storage in the rear of the Stelvio. But you can see it's definitely tighter on the sides. It's not as wide as I think I would hope it to be, but generally a decent amount of space. Power closing tailgate as well. Okay guys, let's go take a tour of the rear seats of the Stelvio because it's a little bit of a tighter space back here as well because this platform isn't the largest. So back here we do have very nice materials. This one does have the optional extended kind of leather and luxury package inside. So we have full leather up here, which feels really nice. Real aluminum accents as well as aluminum door pulls. Very nice door panel actually. A lot of nice textures and materials going on here. Speaker grille on here, though I do wish this little storage cubby would be bigger. It's unfortunately a little bit tiny. You also have a release here to fold these seats down, which is nice, so you don't have to go to the trunk to do that. We can see we have the optional red leather interior option, so let's hop inside. Very easy to get in and out of here. We have a nice wide opening, which is very nice. Let's hear this solid thunk from the Giorgio architecture. Very solid from that. One more time. Very nice, solid thunk there. This is a very stiff chassis. So what are we going on back here with this space? Now, this is my seating position. I am 6 feet tall for reference, and I do fit comfortably behind myself, which is nice. A huge amount of foot space, actually, which I really like. I can get very comfortable back here. I have a lot of knee room, and you can see there's some sculpted out bits back here if you needed even more knee room. You also have these little storage trays back here, cubbies, which have this netting, which I like. Sometimes that's a little bit better than those little leather pouches, which are a little bit stiff and harder to put stuff into. You also have a lot of this like wide foot space back here, though I can definitely see it can get a little bit cramped back here. Headroom wise, I'm doing very well. I would say I have about this much headroom left. Maybe right about here. Let's check that again. Yeah, just right about that amount of headroom, which is fine. We do have this massive panoramic glass roof over here, which is fantastic, and you can close it. You do have a support brace in the center, though. It's not completely full glass, but this whole front panel does open, and it's nice, and extends all the way back to the heads of the rear passengers. We also have some LED ambient lighting in here, and these seats themselves are very nice and comfortable feeling. I love how the leather extends all the way to the end of the door panel as well. Feels very nice. They feel very high quality, these seats. They are heated as well back here. We have heated rear seats, which is nice. 2 USB-A ports, no USB-C back here. And we do have our own kind of circular climate vents, which feel very nice and well damped to move around. There's no kind of temperature control back here, though. And you have a little bit of a storage cubby here, but I don't think that's going to be too useful. Things might just fly out. You do have a pretty big hump back here for your drive shaft going to the rear wheels. But honestly, it's not the biggest thing. I've been in some cars where it's even higher and you can't get across. You can definitely try to sit 3 people back here, but let's see. It would be a little bit on the tighter end. They want to straddle the hump, but it's definitely possible. I don't know about 3 full-size adults. It might be a little bit cramped in that department. You have your ISOFIX anchor points down here for child seats, and you do have this center console here with 2 cup holders, a little bit of like a phone slot, and I love this little Alfa Romeo logo right here. And even the material inside of the seats, not even the leather, is in that same red color, which is really nice. I love this little leather pull to pull it open, and you can see the red contrasting stitching. So this is a very nice cabin. A lot of people are like, oh, Alfa Romeos aren't built or made well. They need to go and sit in the newer ones. These are fantastically made interiors. Really no complaints whatsoever. There's no cheap materials feeling in here. And everything feels very premium, well made, very solid. and well put together, which I really like. You also have a door lock button back here, no unlock, and this LED light will illuminate at night, and of course your window controls there. But let's hop out of this and go up to the front seat, because that is where all of the business is happening in the Stelvio. Getting out is pretty easy as well. Just hopping out like that. Nice solid thunk, and let's go hop up to the front seat now. Now, getting inside the front of the Stelvio, I just want to show you quick the key fob right here, which hasn't changed. It's an Alfa Romeo specific key fob. It's pretty big actually, but I do like how it feels in the hand. Obviously, you have keyless access on this, so you can just put your hand behind that, and the door will unlock. Press this button to lock it. The mirrors will fold in, which is nice, and pretty easy to unlock as well. So no complaints with the keyless access system there. Same nice materials on this front door panel as well. All that gorgeous leather and stitching up there. We just have memory seats over here. A nice metal Harman Kardon speaker grill right on the door panel, and as well as a little bit of a larger storage cubby space on the doors than the rear seats. Very thin Alfa Romeo aluminum side sill here, and we also have these really nice aluminum pedals on the floor. No all-weather floor mats in this particular one, though I do believe those are an option. And here you can check out these absolutely gorgeous front seats. These will have to be one of my favorite seats in the segment right now, just because of their comfortability and incredible support on the sides here. It may not fit everyone if you're a little bit of a larger person, and unfortunately these aren't adjustable, but for me, if you do fit in them, they're so fantastic, especially when you're driving around some corners. I love the Alfa Romeo logo embossed into the headrest right here, as well as this red contrast stitching. And you also do have a manually adjustable thigh support here, which is pretty common in this class, and of course lumbar, as well as some other supports here, and you have full power seats obviously. So let's hop inside. It's a little chilly out today. Another nice solid door thunk there, and here we are inside of the Stelvio for 2024. And right off the bat, you can see the all-new digital dash. So let's start this thing up. We have our lovely Alfa Romeo start-stop switch on the steering wheel. I love that feature. And it all comes to life pretty quickly here. Alfa Romeo chimes going on, and I absolutely love how they have a key holder slot right here. So you can just pop your key in. I love that little tag hanging out, and just always remember to take it with you. I love how they kind of integrated that into the interior. So really for 2024, all that's new is this giant LCD. So really all that's new for 2024 is this digital dash cluster. This is the same dash we saw in the Tonale, as well as even the Hornet actually. They did not change this infotainment system. So this is still the older style Alfa Romeo infotainment system, where you can have this scroll wheel here, and it is touch, but honestly it's a lot easier to control with the scroll wheel, and it moves a lot quicker than it does with the touch, which is a little bit laggy, a little bit slow unfortunately, though it does get the job done. We have wired CarPlay in here and not wireless CarPlay, unfortunately, because they couldn't redo this whole dash. Otherwise they would have to crash test the car again, because they're changing the structure. It costs just too much money, I think, for the company right now. It's fine system. I don't really have any complaints about it, other than it's just a little bit slow, but when it's working, I really don't have any issues there. This digital gauge cluster is okay. It's not my favorite one in the industry. I do love how Alfa Romeo kind of put on this unique little skin on it. So we have these older style Alfa Romeo gauges on here, which I think look really cool. You can see Giri, I guess the rotations for your RPM gauge, which is kind of funky. You also have your miles per hour on that left side, and I love this little like rotating style view for your miles right there for your fuel range, which is really cool. And of course this can change, so you have a little button here on your stock to change the view. So we go from this view, we can go to this more cleaner view here, and we have this very, very clean view here. And these all change depending on your drive mode. So if I go into dynamic, you'll see this will get a little bit more aggressive looking. That also goes for all the other displays as well. So it gets a little bit more aggressive for this one as well. You can see we're in natural and then advanced efficiency. So they all have their own unique look. And these little cards can change here with this little button on the steering wheel. So we're gonna change this center card here. For driver assist mode, we also can change this little center piece on the right hand side as well, to kind of have some different information for some trip information, tire pressure monitor, as well as just a blank screen as well, which I kind of like to keep that one off personally. I like looking at the gauge, but of course that's up to you. Now this steering wheel also has not changed for 2024, and that is perfectly fine. I absolutely love Alfa Romeo's steering wheel. It's one of my favorite steering wheels in the industry. It's such a perfect diameter. It's a perfect fit in the hand. I love these grips and the contoured lines for your hands up here as well. It's just a really nice steering wheel. I think everyone needs to kind of take some inspiration from it. Nice Alfa Romeo badge in the center here, and on our left-hand side, we have our controls for our upgraded radar cruise control, as well as lane keep assist and following distance. It doesn't have like a full-on steering assist, which is a little bit disappointing, but generally pretty good system here. I love these metal paddle shifters. This is my favorite thing from Alfa Romeo. It's just fantastic feeling. Really nice click to them, and I love how they kind of block the stalks behind it. They're like, this is our priority in this vehicle, not the stalks behind it. But we do have automatic wipers over here. We do have automatic headlights as well, so that's a nice function. And the rest of our headlight controls can be found to the left-hand side right here in this little button, as well as to turn off our auto stop start and parking sensor controls there. Pretty simple controls, nothing too crazy. And I love this little cockpit style blending here with the leather into this actual cockpit. So it's a very nice screen and layout system. I don't like all the new cars that have this giant one massive panel of screens. I like how it's still separated in this cockpit style. Coming down to our center console, again, nothing has really changed. We've seen all this stuff from the 2020 big interior update, but it's very nice interior. I love this stitching and the leather padding right here. It's perfect for where your knee is placed. I also love that you actually have an area to rest your knee and legs in there, which is really nice. This aluminum material feels fantastic. It is real metal. It gets nice and cold when it's colder in the morning, so you can feel it when you're kind of moving all the buttons around. I think that's a nice touch. This is also metal. Very nice damping to it. It doesn't feel cheap at all, which I think they did a great job on. Huge cup holders here, very deep, and we have a little bit of a smartphone slot there if you want to put that there. You have a USB-A port here, as well as your 12-volt socket. And I love that they still have physical climate controls here. Very simple, easy to use. Even though you do have an additional climate menu in this infotainment system, you still have these physical gauges here, which feel very nice and very sturdy as well. So I love that. And close this up. This whole center console area over here is also one of my favorite parts of the design of this interior. Very clean, very simple, but also very effective. We have our shifter here, which is wrapped in leather and stitched. Feels very nice. I love the little Italian flag accent here. Electronic parking brake, and of course we saw our key holder slot right there. Drive mode selector, and then this will be a damper adjustment button if you get the Quadrifoglio or the Estrema model. I believe it's a Competizione one actually now. They changed the name, so that will be an optional adaptive damper one that this one cannot get. We have a physical dial here for our forward and back, as well as volume and turning on and off our stereo system. And I love this control here to control the infotainment system. It's so much easier to use while you're driving. Quick access buttons as well. We also have a wireless charger blended in here, but to me this is pointless because we don't have wireless CarPlay, but you do have it if you need it. Nice big center armrest wrapped in leather, soft and squishy as well, and it doesn't adjust, but I don't think you really need it to. I think it's wide and long enough for all different sizes of people. And here we have a USB-A aux port and a USB-C port. Have this cord plugged in so I can use Apple CarPlay. It's a decent amount of space here. It does get very hot in here, but it's not the deepest amount. You can see down here we have our placement for our key. If the battery dies, you need to start the vehicle, so you can place it right there, which is nice. This also feels very solid. No complaints there. We do thankfully have a glove box for some more storage, though it's very tiny. Not that much space going on there. I wish they could increase the space. I'm not sure why this whole piece is so thick. They could have opened this up, I think, a little bit. But enough of the minor complaints here. This is a really nice interior. I think it's aged very well. Some things are starting to show their age, but generally as a driver, I have no complaints here. Very good visibility all around. We have power folding mirrors as well as heated mirrors, and both mirrors are actually dimmable, automatic at night, which is fantastic. We also have an auto dimming rear view mirror here, and garage home link is located up here. This kind of center cockpit panels houses all of our lights and our controls for our giant panoramic sunroof up here. And that's pretty much it in here. There's not too much to kind of talk about because they haven't really changed too much. It's some things I wish they changed, but otherwise, like I said, it's a pretty nice space.